My people, come closer make I gist una today. E get one story wey still dey pain me like say na me e happen to. You see dis love matter na so person go pour im heart, help person rise, only to chop premium breakfast. Na betrayal full dis story. Na me your hottest gist giver, Aunty Gistina, and today gist go shock you. Adewale Olushola had always been a focused, no-nonsense young man. At 29, he was already running Olushola Holdings, a multi-million naira company in Lagos. His father, Chief Olushola, had started it from scratch, and now Adewale was carrying the legacy. Despite the glitz, Adewale's heart had grown tired. He wanted something deeper, something real beyond meetings and boardrooms. His friends thought he was too serious. His parents wanted him to marry into wealth, but Adewale believed love should be genuine. It was one random Wednesday on the Lagos train that he met Akua, paint on her jeans, earphones in, and eyes lost in her sketch pad. She looked nothing like the women Adewale had known. She was raw, expressive, and unbothered by people's opinions. She accidentally spilled her paint on his tailored grey suit. She was flustered, he was annoyed, but instead of anger, Adewale found himself staring at her face. There was something about her, something honest. That day, the exchange numbers. Akua didn't come from money. Her parents were retired teachers living in a modest part of Surulere. She juggled three jobs: graphic design intern by day, art tutor by evening, and freelance painter by night. Adewale began calling her, sometimes just to hear her thoughts on life. Akua would talk about art like it was her breath. She dragged into art shows in abandoned buildings and paint murals on his walls when he was stressed. Slowly, Adewale started falling for her, not because she was the type society wanted him to be with, but because she made his world feel less hollow. Adewale knew Aqua had talent, so he pulled some strings and got her a spot in a mentorship program for emerging artists. He didn't tell her at first, just surprised her with the acceptance letter. Aqua cried that day. They started spending weekends at his Lekki apartment. He bought her art supplies, set up a mini studio for her, and even helped her build a website. "I don't know why you are doing all this," she'd whisper, "because I believe in you and we can build our future together," he'd say. As their love grew, the pressure built. But not everyone was happy. Chief and Mrs. Olushola didn't hide their disapproval. To them, Aqua wasn't wife material. No pedigree, no connections. Adewale fought them because he was in love with her. Meanwhile, Aqua's world was changing fast. Her name started showing up in exhibitions. People were offering to buy her work. She was finally becoming who she dreamed of, and Adewale was a silent force. It was during one art expo in Victoria Island that she met Toby, a gallerist from abroad who saw potential in her. She was happy to meet him and they exchanged contacts. Toby started calling often, giving advice, half for group shows. At first, Adewale thought nothing of it. Akwa was growing. He couldn't stop that. But Toby was slick, always around, always complimenting, always listening. Adewale started noticing the small things. Akwa would step out to take calls. She was less available, sometimes emotionally distant. "Who was that on the phone?" he asked one night. "Just Toby. He's helping me prep for the Paris exhibit," she replied, not meeting his eyes. He wanted to trust her. He had given her everything: his time, his resources, his heart. Adewale traveled for 2 weeks to close a deal in Abuja. While he was away, he barely heard from Akwa. She said she was busy prepping her portfolio, but Lagos had a way of whispering secrets. One of Adewale's colleagues saw Akwa and Toby together, holding hands, entering a hotel. Adewale's chest went cold. When Adewale got back, he didn't raise it immediately. He waited, hoping she would say something. Instead, she laughed and kissed him like nothing happened. That night, he opened her phone. while she was in the shower. Chats, pictures, voice notes. Toby, I wish I met you before Adewale. His heart shattered silently. He didn't confront her, he was watching. Months passed. Adewale stood on the balcony of his penthouse suite, the city lights of Lagos twinkling like stars below. He had just returned from a high profile business trip in Dubai, one that had expanded Olushola Holdings into the Middle East market. The deal had been a huge success, but his heart remained heavy. Something felt off with Aqua. She had grown distant, secretive. Their phone conversations had become shorter, her texts colder. He had noticed changes before leaving, but now it was unmistakable. When he went to her house, he found her apartment darker than usual. The easel that once stood proudly in the corner was turned toward the wall. A few of her paintings were missing. You sold some pieces? Adewale asked casually. Aqua, seated on the edge of the couch, barely looked up. Yes, needed funds to frame a new collection. He offered a tight smile, ignoring the knot in his stomach. You could have told me. I would have helped. She nodded but said nothing. That evening, Adewale sat on her balcony and stared into space. His instinct had always been sharp in business. He knew how to read people. When a deal was going sour, he now realized the same signals were flashing in his personal life. Something wasn't right. The call came unexpectedly. A friend of Adewale's, Sheyi, had spotted Aqua entering a hotel in Victoria Island, arm in arm with another man. Out of respect, he sent Adewale a photo. The image shattered him. Aqua smiling, cozy, with a man in a creased suit, laughing like she hadn't done in weeks. Adewale felt a hollow ache in his chest as he stared at the photo. He had invested time, love, resources, and most importantly, trust into helping Aqua rise. He had put her in rooms with collectors, introduced her to elite circles, and encouraged her at every step. He drove straight to her apartment. Who's he? He asked, holding up his phone. Aqua blinked rapidly. He's a gallery owner who you kissed in public, who touched you like I don't exist. Aqua's face crumbled. I didn't mean for it to happen. It was a mistake. Adewale stepped back, pain etched in every line of his face. No, Aqua, you made a choice. She reached out. He recoiled. We can fix this, she whispered. No, you broke it. He walked out and never turned back. For weeks, Aqua called and texted. No reply. She showed up at his office, his gate, even his church. He didn't open the door. He didn't speak a word. The betrayal was too deep. He blocked her everywhere. His silence was loud, and in that silence, Aqua's guilt began to grow like a weed. Aqua's career continued to rise, but it all felt hollow. Yes, her pieces were displayed at exhibitions, and her name was whispered in elite circles, but it came with whispers about her betrayal too. Lagos wasn't as big as she thought. The man she had cheated with ghosted her after using her name to boost his gallery's relevance. She later discovered he was married with kids. The shame was suffocating. She tried reaching Adewale over and over, calls, texts, emails. He blocked her. She visited his office once, only to be gently turned away by security. Akwa began painting darker, sadder themes. The vibrancy was gone. Her soul knew it had lost something valuable. Adewale had been more than a lover, he was her anchor. In contrast, Adewale threw himself into work. He launched a mentorship program for young entrepreneurs. His story of building a media wing under Olushola Holdings trended in business magazines. He graced cover pages, but behind closed doors, he still felt the sting. Betrayal changes a man, it hardens him, but also teaches him to prioritize his peace. He moved into a new apartment, redecorated, and removed every trace of Aqua. One day, while on a podcast, he was asked, "Any advice for young people about love?" He smiled sadly. "Love deeply, but love wisely. Don't ignore the red flags." That clip went viral. Aqua spiraled emotionally. Her art was getting darker, and though it still sold, it came with concern. Collectors called her the sad genius. She sat in her studio one rainy evening, staring at an unfinished piece. Her phone pinged with another rejection email from a gallery in Cape Town. She'd burned too many bridges. She missed Adewale not just for his support, but his calmness, his care. He had believed in her more than she believed in herself. She picked up her phone and typed another message. "I'm sorry, truly," but it never delivered. He had changed his number. Years passed. Adewale was invited to speak at an international creative tech summit. He was now an investor in art tech startups, supporting young African talents. At one exhibition in Nairobi, he saw a familiar style, Akwa's. Her name was no longer widely spoken, but her pain showed in every brushstroke. Their paths never crossed, and he liked it that way because she deserved what she got. He had moved on, not with another woman, but with purpose. Love, he learned, doesn't always end with closure or a second chance. Sometimes the healthiest thing is to walk away and mean it. Akwa regretted her mistake for the rest of her life. Her heart would always be tinged with that regret. Na so e be o my pipo, if dem dey help you climb ladder, no use am break their heart. E fit no ever fix again, make una wise up. Love na sweet thing, but trust be the real backbone. If you break am, you go fit lose the best part of your life. Na me be Aunty Gistina, the hottest gist giver for dis side of town. E go see una next time for another gbege story. Bye bye o.